We forever stand true to our God and true to our native land. Certainly, that has been the spirit of the sit-in movement. That's been the spirit of the Freedom Fiesta Week celebration. On last Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, we were at the Evangelistic Baptist Church. We heard a speech that I shall never forget by Dr. F.D. Roseberg. And those of you that missed it, oh, I can understand you missing the I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King. I can understand that. But if you miss the address by Dr. Roseberg, you missed one of the great speeches of the 21st century. Dr. Roseberg was to be with me today, but someone would call in and tell us exactly what happened. And those of you that did not hear this dynamic minister with words of wisdom, with education, you missed the opportunity of a lifetime. Yes, today is Clara Luper's day. Today is a day that we celebrate. Calvin, let's kind of review over the days that have passed.
Mom, it'd be a pleasure to review the days this past week because this has been an exciting week. There have been some great memories that have been remembered, been some great times that have been had. And I know that today with the parade and with the dinner that we will be finalizing in a way this year's celebration of the start of the sit-in movement, not only in Oklahoma, but in this great state of ours. It started on August the 19th, actually 1958, but this year's activity started August the 19th, 2001, where we had Doc Williams Day. This was coordinated by Bosie Walker. And, Mom, kind of give us a little highlights about what happened there.
Calvin, it was just unbelievable. Dr. Roseberg cannot be here today because I understand he's preaching a funeral in Tulsa, but he will be here. We've got to let him share with all of you. And if you missed that, you missed it. You know, sometimes you go to church and you hear a lot of yap, yap, yap and patting on the back.
Yappity yap.
But then he had wisdom, he had education. It was something.
Spotlighting the continuous faith has been the theme that we work with all week. But then on Tuesday was on Monday that was Johnny Green's Day. Now this was coordinated by one of our current youth council advisors, Rosetta Coleman. And the Johnny Green's Day, what was that about, Mom?
That was a day of sweetness. Mrs. Coleman had cakes there, a remembrance. Her pastor came up and said, I want a cake. There were cakes, and the cakes only cost $20 each, and boy, they were something else.
Right, Mom. But then that was adding to getting ready for the rest of the week, part of the foundation, because on that Tuesday was Cecil L. Williams Day. Now that was coordinated by Mrs. Leola Ford and Wilma Ray, current advisors of our great NACP Youth Council.
Cecil L. Williams' life was registering people to vote. And that was the day that telephone calls were made everywhere. We've got to register. We've got to vote. We have some issues that are going to change our whole history. And there are many people that would like for us to forget the past in order that they can sit on the stage of the present and say, look what I did. But intelligence will teach us that the present was based on the past.
Also, we had salads that day, all types of salad. Tuna salad,
yes.
Chicken salad, lettuce, tomato salad.
It was a salad around.
It was fantastic. But then comes President's Day, which was on a Wednesday this year, and that was coordinated by our young president, our current president of the great Oklahoma City NACP Youth Council, John A. Pettis Jr., as he says it. Now, what happened on that day?
On that day, we had a big musical. We had the opportunity to go to the Faith, Love, and Hope Church. Hope, Love, and Faith Church. We had the opportunity to see Jewel Bruner and a choir in action. We had an opportunity once again to stand with Reverend Dallas. Oh, what an experience. What an experience.
Oh, thank God for those times when Reverend Dallas and the many other ministers
he once delivered one of our Freedom Fiesta addresses
Right.
in the
But then I was
50s.
going back to 1959 and 60 and
Oh,
all that,
yes,
and the
yes,
support
yes.
that the ministers, the support that the many different churches around this city, how they would come in. Oftentimes now, a lot of them couldn't go down and wouldn't go down and sit in, but they made sure that we knew, that you knew that they were behind
Well,
us.
Calvin, they are putting as part of the historic exhibits the story of the Oklahoma City sit-ins. Now, there are a lot of ministers that didn't participate, and they have gotten pictures from television. They have gotten pictures out of papers, and a lot of people were not there.
But then Thursday, Mom, which is what is sit-in Day now. Thursday, August the 23rd, was coordinated by the Dynamic Youth Council advisor, by the owner and the director of the Chauncey Cherdina's Daycare Center, Mrs. Gloria Matthews.
That was a day. That was a day when the sit-inners came home to talk about their experiences. When people took a seat and said, I want to be a part of it. And Mrs. Gloria Mathis came in with the Gloria Mathis beans. Oh, that was
Chili.
something. Chili. There were
That
beans. You
was
could get beans with
beans and
chili
chili,
and
yeah.
without chili.
And
That was a day.
cornbread. That was quite a meal. You know, one thing that we do at 730 West Britain Road, where I'll be working with Merlin Hildred, who is the best Allstate insurance agent, the best agent you ever heard. I know that we had we had the salads that day, we had beans and the chili one day.
Oh, that was
But
out
then
of
that
sight.
was leading up to last night's activities. But Mom, before we tell everybody about what happened last night and what's going to be happening today, let's take this caller who is taking the time to call us out here, 672-1220, live on the Clara Luper radio show, where this is it. And the caller said, well, I'm not waiting any longer, Calvin. I'm going to hang up. So we'll go ahead and tell you what happened last night.
What,
Friday.
they hung up
They
on
hung
you?
up on me. That's
Okay.
all right, though. I don't mind. Because of the fact that Mrs. Hunter, Mrs. Davis, and especially the memory of Mrs. Lillian Oliver was not hung up on. And Friday night,
But let me tell you about the breakfast. They had a breakfast Friday morning.
Friday morning, a breakfast.
And you're talking about a crowd. At 7:30, people came to have breakfast prepared by those two home economics teachers, Miss Letty Ruth Hunter and Mrs. Nancy Davis. And then all day, they reviewed the sit-in movement, looking at pictures and being excited. And then last night, there was an old-fashioned, traditional fashion show. It
What was
quite
old-fashioned about that, Mom? Now, I
it was,
sort of enjoyed
when I
it.
say old-fashioned, I meant that they have it every year.
Oh, okay.
And
Not-
then
not
they
an annual
crown
affair,
the
nothing.
queen, the king, and I'm sure Mrs. Hunter or Mrs. Davis would call us and let us know.
Yeah, I
about
don't know if that was
Okay,
old-fashioned,
but
because
you-
I saw some updated fashions.
Oh yeah, they were
I saw
out.
the
They
kids
were
that
out
were
of
there
sight. They were
modeling with
out
some
of
great
sight.
models.
But Calvin, let's go on to today.
Today,
Yes,
Saturday,
Saturday.
Saturday morning.
God of our weary years.
God of what?
God of our weary years.
Yes.
God of our silent tears.
Yes.
Thou who has brought us thus far on the way. Thou who has by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lord, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. And so many of our people are drunk with the wines of the world, and they have forgotten where we came from. Many black people are walking around as black as I am, and they have forgotten that they are black people. And they believe that they walked into a job just because of their abilities.
What didn't they, Mom?
Didn't
Wouldn't
they?
you say?
Oh, Calvin.
Wouldn't they say?
Didn't. Look at
Isn't that
history.
what they're saying?
They would have us forget our history. They would have us forget that on August 1958, 13 young people walked into Cat's Drug Store and took a seat for freedom and stood up for justice. They would like for us to forget the Era Holmes, the A. Willie James, the Theodosia Crawford, the D.J. Diggs, the Roscoe Dungy, the Cecil L. Williams, the John E. Greens, and others had fought for freedom. And I call them carpet baggers who has come in enjoying the fruits without paying their part of the dues. Oh, I would hate to be a carpetbagger. I would hate to sit down and wait for somebody to open the door for me and then I run in. But today we're going to give Oklahoma City a chance to participate.
A chance to participate. Now,
Yes.
Mom, how can Oklahoma City
In the
participate?
first place,
What can we do?
we will be in the parade that's headed by Burley Nero and Rodale Hornbeak.
Now, what kind of parade is this one? Now,
This is the Clara Luper parade.
this is the Clara Luper parade.
They will meet at Pitts Park.
Okay, where is that? I know.
Kevin, well, tell everybody
I know
if you
where
know
it
where Pitts
is,
Park
and I
is.
know that you ought to know where Pitts Park is because you go down Northeast Lottie, you go to Northeast 20th, and you turn back east. You'll see a beautiful park there, new playground equipment. A beautiful park there that has an outstanding building. Got one of the best ping pong tables I've ever lost a ping pong game on there in the thing. But that is Pitts Park. Now, it was named after a young man who gave his
Leroy
life.
Pitts, yes.
Young black officer who gave his life for America, for Oklahoma, and for Oklahoma City. He was brought up in that area. I think his home, or one of his original homes that they moved in, was there where the park is now. And that's where we will be starting the Clara Luper Day Parade. Mom, but let's try this caller on the line, and we'll go a little further, and we'll tell you more about the park, tell you more about the parade, and what you can do to participate. We'll even tell you the route so you can be on the side and holler.
And that's just the beginning of the story.
That's just the beginning of it.
Okay,
Out of our weary years. Good morning. Thank you for being a part of this very special Saturday morning, the Clara Luper Radio Show. How are you doing?
Hello there, Clara and Mr. Calvin Luper.
How are you doing?
I am Nancy Davis, and I just have to call in and tell everybody that Lady Ruth Hunter and I would like to say thank you for participating in our breakfast yesterday morning and our fashion show. We had lots of outstanding people to come in to eat breakfast with us, and we sure appreciated Dr. Dow, Reverend Walker, and then we had Dr. Dow's son. Oh, we had so many people, Willard Moore. And do you
Well,
know,
Willard Moore has been with us since the beginning of the sitting movement. Beforehand, he was treasurer of the NACP senior branch for years.
And do you know everybody had a good chance to just reminisce and talk about the movement and how we are keeping things alive. So we want to say thanks to everybody.
Okay, we want to know about your queen, your princess, and your king, and your... We want to know the whole thing.
The fashion show was so spectacular, but you know, I can't forget Dina Red, who was our narrator last night for the fashion show, and that little Deontay Robinson from Truvine, who gave us that wonderful prayer. And Mrs. Luper, I'm telling you, you can't leave out that Mrs. Bessie Singer who did her thing with the nice exercise, dance, and singing.
We're going to see if she's coming to the dinner tonight. Let's keep going.
Well, I want to tell you that Mrs. Leola Hannah took the show last night. She was so charming and dignified with her spectacular modeling. It was out of sight.
She was flashy, wasn't she?
We know who the queen and the king. Freedom Fiesta, we have Michelle Franklin, who is the queen, and Mr. Nigel Stetson, who is our king. The first runner-up for queen was Coco Thomas, and the princess is Lachey Pennon. And boy, you talking about somebody cute, that little Shayla, I think it's Shayla Garrett. That's not pronounced.
All of my girls were cute, I'll have you know.
That little girl was sweet. She came in from Texas, and she took over, but she was first runner-up. That's Marilyn's little granddaughter.
Jayla Garrett.
Jayla, that's her name. Boy, she was something else. And those little pennants and all of those kids with their special talent of dancing, oh, that was the cutest thing we've ever had. But for the banquet tonight, I've had several people to call.
Wait, now, Nancy, what banquet? We're not sure. You just can't say banquet now. There's banquets all over town.
But everybody wants to know what time.
Yeah, no, I want to know what banquet you're talking about and where it will be.
Clara Luper Freedom Fiesta Banquet. And it's going to be at Fairview Baptist Church, but I could not tell them the time.
Oh, you couldn't tell the time, and you've been up there all the week celebrating.
You know,
it's 6:30 p.m.
At what time?
6:30 p.m.
6:29.
Okay, see, I was thinking it was 7 o'clock.
It's 6:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Luper.
Okay.
And I know you're going to have a big parade today, so let me get off this phone.
Okay, we're also selling catfish, and I know you have your dessert up to Freedom Center.
Of course.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What is
Okay.
happening now? You wait. Let me get
Okay.
my schedule together here
The
so I can
best
get my
catfish
understanding.
you ever want to eat, that CP catfish.
I know that's right. Getting
I
ready for
will
the
be
state fair
there.
too. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling
Okay,
out,
let's go
Nancy.
over. The parade will start at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. The
They will
parade will
start
start at Pitch
lining up
Park.
at 6 at 10:30.
10:30.
And then we'll go up to Freedom Center and they will enjoy catfish. They will drink pop. They will celebrate. They will take pictures and what have you.
At
It's
Freedom
going to
Center,
be a
that's
great
located
day.
next to one of our sponsors' building there. You know, one
Yes.
thing about it, we as a part of the radio show, we must remind everybody that this part of the show has been brought to you by none other than Robert Gates Barbershop. Robert Gates, the best barber in town. He has a big sign up there.
2609 North
Right,
Martin
but he has a
Luther King.
sign in this building that says, "We make people beautiful." I believe him because I've seen some of them go in and I've seen them come out, and believe me, it does bring about a difference. But Robert Gates, 2609 North Martin Luther King, one of the best, if not the best barber in Oklahoma City.
Okay, let's talk about here those who are not drunk with the wines of the world,
Well,
and those
who
who
worry
remember,
about their feet?
and those who realize that if you've been black before the sit-ins, you never would have had a chance to eat downtown. You wouldn't have had a chance to live anywhere you wanted to. Okay, we have somebody on the line, Clara Luper.
Good morning. Thank you for being a part of the Clara Luper Radio Show here on Clara Luper's Day, Freedom Fiesta Week 2001. Thank you for calling. All right, you called now. Thank you for talking. Okay, so you're not going to talk, so thank you for being...
Okay, well, let's talk about the dinner then.
Okay, we'll
Tonight at
come back on the
6:30.
line.
The
Okay.
dinner, the tickets are
Okay.
$25 if you want to be a silver supporter, $50 for a gold supporter, and $100 for a diamond supporter. Now, those of you that are not able to do that, you can go to Freedom Center, and if you appreciate what the sit-inners did, if you appreciate those people that went to jail and was spit on, why don't you leave a penny, and we will have there will be a big cup up there to put your pennies in. If you want to do a nickel's worth, a dime's worth, all we want to do is to get your name and what you did. Maybe you want to bring an aluminum can because last week, according to our can coordinator, the kids were able to sell $16 worth of cans. So we want you to do something because we want your names up there that you participated. Maybe you just appreciate us a nickel's worth. Or maybe you're the type of person say, I want to forget my history. I don't want to remember. But let me tell you something. If you don't remember your past, I don't care what anybody tells you, you don't know where you have to go in the future.
Oh, Mom, now you're so right on that. Because if it hadn't been for that past, we wouldn't have the future. But what we do have, Mom, is a young man that is a new addition to the Clara Luper Radio Show that is becoming and is really
Words of wisdom.
Words of
He
wisdom.
better be on.
I mean,
Okay.
he's ready.
Okay,
And
well, we are
that
ready
part of the
for him.
program is growing. It gets so that during the course of the week, people be repeating back to me the words of wisdom
Well,
that
that's what
none
we
other
need.
than Fluky McDaniel has presented to us. So I want to say good morning, Fluky. How are you doing on Clara Luper's Day?
All right, you ready?
I stay ready. Are you
All
ready?
right.
Are you ready?
No one cares how much you know unless they know how much they care.
Oh, isn't that wrong? Nobody cares how much you know unless they know that you care. Now, that's a good one. I'm going to see how much people care about it every day. Say that again,
Say that
Fluky.
again, Fluky. Would you, Mr. McDaniels?
No one knows, no one cares how much you know unless you know how much you care.
Well, thank you. Thank you so very kind.
Well,
Well, we saw this week Who Cares About Us, and I was just I was thinking about some of our NAC people that had worked so hard, and I told one, if Jimmy Carr was alive today, he would have come by Freedom Center and said thanks. But a lot of people don't come by, and they don't say thanks. But we've got to go on anyhow. Now, let me get what you can do today. Do you care a penny's worth, a nickel's worth, a dime's worth, a quarter's worth, or a dollar's worth? Do you care enough to invest $25 in the Freedom Fiesta celebration tonight? Tonight we are going to honor Marie Weekley. Calvin, let me tell you about Marie.
Please do, Mom, because that name is familiar, and I know Mrs. Weekly in a way, but I don't know
But let me
all
tell
the
you,
activities and or why we would be honoring her.
she was born in a little old town, country,
Country
roadside
town.
in Sequin, Texas. Educated at the Marion Elementary School at Ball High School. Came to Oklahoma City and attended and graduated from the Knowledge Beauty College. Did advanced studies at National Beauty Leagues all over the country. Attended national hair weaving these seminars all over the country. Took extension courses from OSU, Loyola University, and worked for Western Electric, and then founded her own business, a petite salon, and the Marie's Clothes Closet. And for 33 years, she has worked to make Oklahoma, people that wanted a different technique, beautiful. She's traveled extensively in Hawaii and Jamaica, Bahamas, and Mexico. She's traveled throughout the continental United States. A member of the Fifth Street Baptist Church, where she served as co-chairperson of Women's Day program. She is associated with the Deaconesses and the Ministers' Wives organization. She works in Sunday school, and she was a past secretary of the primary department. Yes, she's a bacillus of the Eta chapter Theta Nu Sigma sorority. Past president of Unit 9 Beauty Culture League, a member of the NACP, the YMCA, the Freedom Center Incorporated Board, a volunteer worker for various organizations, the mother of 3 children. And you ask me why we are honoring Marie Weekly tonight.
I
and
asked,
we
but now I
invite
know.
all of our friends to come out and help us honor this beautiful young lady, Marie Weekly.
You know, Mom, as a part of the Freedom Fiesta celebration, we've pointed out to the audience the activities that have happened during the course of the week. We're pointing out to the audience what will be happening today during Clara Luper's Day. But you'll never guess who's on the line.
Oh, no.
It's the young man who presented the sermon, I should say, for us that started the Freedom Fiesta, none other than the Honorable Reverend Dr. F.D. Rosenberg. Reverend
Rosenberg is on the line.
He's on the line. He's on his
thank
cell
God.
phone. I was
Okay.
trying to get.
Hello?
How you doing, Rev?
Hello.
Good. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show. And thank you so much for being a part of the Freedom Fiesta 2001.
Well, it was an honor to be there, and I thank God for Ms. Luper and what she has done. And I said word that I had to go to a film. I'm on a turnpike. This
I
morning,
received the word from Carol Curry.
but I received the word. I received the word from your daughter. So I better call.
That's exactly right. Reverend, the sermon you delivered last week is one that I want my audience to hear. And I know you're on your way to Tulsa to a funeral. When can you come back and deliver that on the Clara Luper Radio Show?
I'll be back next Saturday if you'd like me to come.
If I would like to come,
Like for me to be there, yes.
let me tell you, I want to let people know what you did for us. You all took up a collection for Freedom Center's Fiesta.
We did.
And you sent someone to present it. You brought your choir with those songs of our forefathers, and you preached out of your heart. You told us things historically, and I just want to thank you.
Well, I thank you for being there. It was my pleasure.
Well, you will be here next Saturday.
I'll come next Saturday.
Well,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen, you got his word for it. He will be here next Saturday.
But I wanted to call. Today is your day. Have a good day.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Isn't that
Thank
sweet?
you, Reverend Rosenberg.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Doctor. Drive carefully because we want you to come back next Saturday. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay,
Because this is the Clara Luper Radio Show.
You know,
that was the Reverend
it's really
Dr.
great
Rosenberg.
to have a pastor that cares.
Mom, you know, everybody's
It is
pastor
unbelievable.
cares.
No,
but
everybody's pastor does not
it
care.
depends who you talk to.
Okay,
They gonna
okay,
tell you. But
okay.
then some people care, and then you can see in their actions and see in their attitude. Dr. Rosenberg is one of those ministers. But
Can
why
you
don't we have another
imagine
caller on
Dr.
the line, too?
Rose? Oh, I love him. Okay,
Well,
hello.
we'll hear him next week.
Hello.
We'll see. Good morning. Thank you for calling in and being a part of the Clara Luper Day here in Oklahoma City, where we're getting ready for the Freedom Fiesta dinner that will be at 6:30 at Fairview Baptist Church.
At the Donald Burns Fellowship,
Burns Center.
named after one of the patriots.
of Oklahoma, Oklahoma City. My
Okay,
goodness.
let's see who's on the line.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Oh,
Hello?
Well, we do.
Well, let me tell you about somebody else we are honoring
Who
tonight.
could you tell us about?
Reverend James Shields, who was born in Texarkana, Arkansas, who went to Syracuse University, Southern Methodist University, Oklahoma University, Oklahoma City University, and who was employed by the United Church Ministry. Sabbatical went organization that went to Russia, part of the Skyline Urban Ministry, Wheatland United Methodist Church, and served as a United Methodist Minority Coordinator, who traveled in the Far East, the Near East, the Scandinavian countries, Japan and the Philippines, who was a minister at the Wesley Foundation, the campus ministry, the research assistant for the National Council of Churches. He also served as a campus minister at the University of North Dakota, a Phi Beta Kappa man, Frank Sharp Scholarship, Perkins School of Theology, and has one child. And Kevin, how do you remember Reverend James Shields?
I'm just amazed now. I've been
That's why
knowing
we
him a
honor
long
him tonight.
time. Phi Beta Kappa and a chaplain in all those different places. But I know back in 1958 and 1959 when we had an opportunity to first cross paths, I didn't know what to say about here's this young white minister all dressed up in his clerical outfit down here picketing with us, willing to sit in with us, but even more than that, went to jail with us. And it took me a little while to try. I say, now is this one of these FBI implants? Or is he really dedicated? Is he really motivated? But during the course of the sit-in movement, the truth came out, and I've been flabbergasted since that time because of the fact that often when we would be down and out, we could look over to Reverend Shields, and he would serve as an inspiration to us. We could look over there at Father Yates, Dr. Yates, how they would serve as inspirations to us. Difference in skin color.
Father
But
McDowell.
we had a mutual goal, and I know we still have a mutual goal of making our community and our city and our nation a much better place. But then I never knew all of that about Reverend Shields. I just knew that he was there, and he wasn't just talking that talk. He'd walk that walk. He carried a sign. He'd sit there, and then we, being a little younger, then we'd look around. He said, well, just hold on, kids. It's not as bad
Well,
as
he's
it
going to
seems.
be honored tonight like he's
Well,
never been honored
It's going to be a
before.
pleasure, Mom, to be seeing him honored and to be a part of that honoring a young minister. Now, I don't know if a lot of you young people and a lot of us that are over 40 can remember back then. It took a lot of nerve and a lot of heart to be a part of the movement.
Well, we don't want
There
to
were
be...
sacrifices made by young people, but most of all, imagine a minister taking the time out, a white minister coming over to help.
Well, he helped, and he's going to be honored tonight. Thomas Redwine from Clinton, Oklahoma. All from the Clinton public school system came a Thomas Redwine, a graduate of Machine Accounting Training School, data processing specialist, graduate of Southwestern Oklahoma State University, president of the board of directors of Clinton's Association for Rights and Equality, secretary treasurer, Prince Hall Grand Lodge, Oklahoma jurisdiction, court advocate in juvenile adjudication, legal redress in our investigation member, a former member of Oklahoma's Dr. Martin Luther King's Holiday Committee, coordinated for 11 areas of Oklahoma Parent Guardian Support Network, a deacon at the Missionary Baptist Church in Clinton, Oklahoma, director of Clinton's alternate Spring Summer Youth Activities Program, a 32-year member of the past master of Clinton Masonic Lodge number 21, F&AM Prince Hall affiliates, member of Alaraf Temple number 20, AEONMS, NACP advisor, a co-recruiter for Miss Black Oklahoma, a member and supporter of the sit-in movement, an active member. What about it, Thomas Redwine? And Thomas is going to be honored tonight. Last week I told you about Mr. Gatewood. I told you that he would be honored tonight on Clara Luper's Day. And you calling me and say, well, if it's Clara Luper's Day, why aren't you honoring Clara Luper? That's not your business. Your business is to tell me what you have done for the movement. I've told you about Elnora Douglas, who will be honored tonight. I've told you about James Gatewood, Marie Weekly, Reverend Shields, and Thomas Redwine. What about you? What have you done for the movement? Now, I know what Mrs. Woods have done. Mrs. James Woods has seen to it that.
She has.
Oh, Mrs. James Woods, don't you? I bet one
What a
thing.
contribution. That
You won't go
talented
out there and
sons of
talk about
hers.
Clara Luper around Mrs. James Woods. Kevin, do we have someone on the line?
Mom, we certainly do. But I'm having such a great time on this special Clara Luper's Day because do you realize that in the past we've come out here in the blue room, it wasn't blue.
But
we've
it's
come
blue now.
we've come out.
We serve today at Freedom Center and invite all your friends to come out.
I apologize. We will be selling catfish dinner today and selling pies.
Oh, what kind of pies will we be selling today?
We have lemon, coconut cream, and sweet potato.
All right. Be sure and say me a lemon, a coconut, and a sweet potato pie. All right. Thank you so very kindly. Now it's time for action. And today's program is being brought to you by Hometown, 2001 Northeast 23rd Street, Tom's Barbecue, 2504 Northeast 10th Street, where you can still get some delicious barbecue. Allstate Insurance, 730 North Britain Road in Oklahoma City. Johnson Shardina, 1643 Northeast 50th Street. Leo's Barbecue. Calvin, we're going to see who's going to bring us a penny, a nickel, a dime, a quarter. But tonight, Baron Hopgood with his diamond ticket will be there tonight. And this program tonight is going to start on time. And we have a delicious menu.
Mom, let's talk about that menu in just a minute because we have a caller on the cell phone that has to be a part of the show.
Well,
this is Boomer Sooner Day. This is the opening day
Okay,
for
we
our
can
Sooner
understand
football.
that, but Boomer Sooner would not have meant anything to black people had it not been for the NACP.
And
so let me
speaking
hear
of that,
from them.
Mom,
Let me hear
we
from
have
that
on
person.
the line one of the honorees' son for tonight's activities. A young
Really?
man that is a Sooner that graduated from Oklahoma University, Douglas High School, I think Page Elementary School, and we can go a long way
That's
back.
not
with that.
James Gatewood Jr.
How did you know? Good
Oh.
morning, James Gatewood Jr. Thank you for being a part of the Clara Luper Radio
Good
Show.
morning. Certainly is a privilege to be a part of it.
All right.
You're back in Oklahoma. What are you doing here today?
I'm in Oklahoma to be a part of this celebration. My father's being honored, and when you have a father that's been a father for as long as mine has to be, then I want to certainly participate in that.
What is so important about your father?
Well, there are many things, but one of the things that I look at that's so important is that he's always loved his family. He has always been that kind of father. He's disciplined and whatnot, but one thing that I've always felt that he's loved his children and he's loved his family, and that's probably been one of the most important aspects that he's contributed to my life.
What have you done with your life since you had such a good father?
Well, I don't want to brag.
You better brag about yourself.
But
Just jump right in, James.
I feel extremely fortunate. I went to Douglas High School, and when you're young, you don't realize what a education that you received. I sort of thought that maybe I couldn't compete with folks that have attended other high schools and whatnot. But when I went to the University of Oklahoma, I realized just what a good foundation I had at Douglas.
Right.
And I graduated from the University of Oklahoma, played basketball, went there on a basketball.
You really did.
Made room for the Lord Noble Center, didn't you?
Well, I want you to know it was a tremendous experience, and it's hard for you to do things better than what you can visualize, and certainly at the University of Oklahoma, they expanded my vision, and I certainly realized that there was a lot more possible than I thought when I went there. But I graduated from pharmacy school, and after that, I got married to Wanda Pierce. She used to be
Yes.
Mr. Pierce's daughter.
And Brenda's sister.
Right.
Okay.
And went to the military, spent some time at Fort Polk in Vietnam, and then came back and took a job working for the VA as a farm assistant. 4 years later, was chief of pharmacy service. And
Wait, just a minute. 4 years later, you were what?
well, things break right sometimes.
But you make them break. Okay.
But retired from the VA in '98 after 28 years of service, and have been really, since I've been retired, been a house husband and so forth. But also been very
But
active.
Wanda's glad of that, isn't she?
Oh yeah. But been very active in the church also. In fact, I'm chairman of the deacon board for our church this year, and I certainly contribute that to doing a lot for helping me to become the person that I am.
Okay, now let's talk about your father. Tonight he's going to be honored, and he certainly deserves it. What, do you have any sisters? Tell me about your sisters.
Well, I've got an older sister, so she probably will get me for this. But
Boy, you really doing it today, aren't you?
But Wava Marie Cummings is her name. She lives in Oklahoma City, and I've got a younger sister, Mary Fadia Wilson, who also lives in Oklahoma City. So everybody's in Oklahoma City but me, and it's always a joy to get back and see old friends and family. But Dad, to talk a little bit more about Dad used to be the YMCA director in Oklahoma City for many years, and I certainly know that he's been very active in the community and dealing with young folks and changing the lives of young folks. So that has always influenced me, and if you know my personality any at all, I'm outgoing like my father, and certainly involved in community activities like he has always been.
You are in Oklahoma City. You have flown in here to be with the family on Clara Luper's day. Salute to the backbone of the city and movement. It's people whose names never made the headlines, but yet they were there.
And I think that's important to recognize those people, because certainly we all realize those who get on the front lines and do those things, but you certainly need people who are going to sit in the pews and who are going to do the day in and day out work. And rarely do they get recognized, but without them, no movement is successful, and nothing can really be accomplished.
Well, certainly we realize that. That's why since 1958 we have honored what we call unsung heroes and sheroes of the civil rights movement.
And I certainly salute that, and I am certainly privileged to be a part of it.
Well, we are privileged to have you here, but you say that you're like your dad, just not as handsome as your dad.
Well, I don't remember saying that.
Well, no, you didn't say that, but somebody else said that.
Is that what they said?
Yes.
Well,
So now you have something to take back to Atlanta.
I certainly will take that back.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you for being a true true Gatewood.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And we can hardly wait to see you tonight, and
Well,
we know you will have some catfish before you go to the big
Well,
dinner.
I'm going to be there.
That's
Okay,
right.
okay.
You know, one of the highlights of the Freedom Fiesta week is seeing people like James Gatewood and my classmates.
Isn't that something?
who
He
wanted to come
came back to see his father honored. But
I'm
it's
gonna
not
tell-
many fathers honored, because we got so many fathers that are doing something else.
Well, yes, Mom.
Have you
But
ever
then
heard
we
of
have so many
anybody
fathers.
honoring a drunkard?
Of course, the county sheriff has a special room for you. The Oklahoma City PD, they give you
No,
chauffeur.
I'm talking
They
about
give you a
honoring.
chauffeur.
Okay, honoring a drunkard.
What other honor can you can get chauffeured anywhere you want to go that they
Go
want
to
to
the
take?
jail. Don't have to pay
And
anything.
don't have to
Okay,
pay that.
I want to know who's going to be
Drunks
with
got
me
his
on
name.
Clara Luper's Day. Don't sit around and wait until I die and then come bringing all that food and things for Calvin, Merle.
No, now don't
Michelle
plan
and
no
all
menu
those.
for me now.
Okay,
That's
just give me
enough.
my
But what we
flowers
have is a
while
call
I
on the
live.
line here.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for being a part of this, the Clara Luper Radio Show on Clara Luper's Day here at the Freedom Fiesta 2001, that is. How are you doing? Thank you for being a caller. Is the baby going to talk, or you going to talk?
She been on the phone on the other end. How you doing?
Well, good. Now that I hear your voice, who's the baby?
This
Hello?
baby.
Yes.
There she is. She's on the
Okay.
phone now.
Hello to you, Kelvin. And
Hello, Mrs. Hunter.
And the people that's in the radio land that's listening to us.
Who's the baby?
Oh, that is the little baby that was on the fashion show last night.
Okay.
Okay, well, come on, tell us about today.
I beg your pardon?
Tell us about today.
Oh, today we are having catfish at the center. Because on the other day you said, when we having catfish, we said we're going to have it today. So come on up to the Freedom Center and get your catfish dinner today. And you can come, I know, about 10:30 everything will be ready, and you can pick your catfish dinner up early. And that is catfish. And Mrs. Dale is there waiting on you. And Mr. Wilson is there getting that fish all prepared just for you. And he prepares it so that we can all enjoy it, and it's real nice and tasty. But, Mrs. Luper, I do want to comment on the thing that's going on also tonight. And I want to thank you for all the honorees that you are honoring tonight. Now, if you want to see a wonderful program, come out tonight and witness the program, Clara Luper's dinner program tonight. And I'm sure you're going to come, because I'm going to be looking forward to you. I want to thank all of those, Ms. Luper, that came out for the breakfast. And I want to especially thank the young people that was on our fashion show last night. And we had one of the youngest persons, 3 months old, that was on the program. And I want to thank the little Garrett children who came all the way from Texas just to be on the fashion show. And those young people stole the show, because our society is made up of our young people. And these
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
They had to do some
Wait a
stealing
minute.
to us. I know I was a
Wait a
model
minute.
there. They couldn't have stole the show when I was modeling this.
The young people stole the show. Now, don't you tell me Gella didn't steal that show with all of that lime green she had on.
No.
Okay,
Don't tell me
You're prejudiced.
What? Say what?
You're prejudiced,
Okay.
Mrs. Hunter. You know that I was
Okay,
fantastic.
Well,
first
Calvin was good, and we made history last night, because this is the first time that we had a young man to model on our fashion show. And hats off to Calvin.
And David Duplessis, too.
Well,
now.
we always have children, the young fellers, but we've never had an adult.
Okay,
Handsome.
y'all hurry up, because I want to know who's going to bring me a penny, a nickel, a dime, a dollar, come up and buy a catfish. We want to write their names down, because we want that in our history. And Mrs. Hunter, you had the opportunity to meet for some people that had never been to Freedom Center, and they were impressed. It's interesting how people
They
come.
were really impressed. And I want to thank all of the ministers who came by and had dinner with us.
Did your minister come?
No, he did not. And then the minister that did not come, Mrs. Luper, I want to let you know that he sent us a beautiful, wonderful contribution.
He
That
did.
can't come.
Your
without
minister?
this contribution. He certainly did.
Did the minister from the mom? Did your minister come?
My minister has not come. I didn't see my minister this week, and I don't know why. Maybe my minister was sick. Maybe my minister is suffering from historical amnesia.
Now, don't
He came in here from Philly.
say that for
I
Sunday.
really felt badly when Mrs. Davis's minister came.
Reverend
and my
Walker
minister
came.
did not come. And some other ministers.
Reverend Richardson came.
Right. We had a
Reverend
number of
Young,
ministers that
Reverend,
come, so I'm not going to call all of them that was
I would like to
there.
thank all of those that sent contributions.
That's right. All the same contributions that could not come, and I want to thank all of those who came and ate and left a contribution.
Right.
We want to thank you for
Well-
helping to support
well, Mrs. Hunter,
the
what-
sit-in movement.
Mrs. Hunter,
And
will you
a
be
lot of
ready
people
for?
out there do not know about the sit-in movement, and they're living right here in Oklahoma City and enjoying the privileges of all the things that the sit-inners accomplish for them.
Will you be ready for the
Sleeping
dinner
facilities,
tonight?
of sleeping facilities and things of that sort. Say what?
Will you be ready for the Clara Luper dinner tonight
I'm
at
going to
Fairview
definitely be ready
Baptist
for
Church?
Clara Luper dinner tonight.
All right.
And
Okay.
I know I'm going to see you there. But
Of
now,
course.
we don't need your singers. I hope she didn't put you all.
Oh well, now Mrs. Hunter, don't be. You know,
But now,
at any
I'm trying to
rate.
get you a contract. I'm trying
Yeah,
to-
that's right.
So-
You know, you have to deal with my agent on that, and I really almost got in trouble last night for even being a part of the fashion show. But it was all for the cause of freedom, so I don't mind.
Oh, that's right.
And thank you so very kind, Lord God of our wearied years.
God of our
God of
world.
our silent tears. Thou who has brought us thus far on the way. Thou who has led by thy might. Thou who led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path. I would like to thank all of the churches that have participated with us We needed your help. And we have on one of our own young ministers, Byron Hopgood. And I want you to know that he's a diamond patron. Byron?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning to you, Miss Luper. I was calling to congratulate you and wish you a very successful and an illuminated day on today. For this is your day, Clara Luper's day. And I want to let you know that Optasia Enterprises will be in the house tonight at the Clara Luper banquet. And we're going to be in full pledge to support Miss Luper. And as I said a couple of Saturdays ago, I am a product of the NAACP and a product of Miss Luper, the training, the teaching, the instilling, the ability to speak, and all of the above, to negotiate. All has come from the NAACP and has caused us to become successful businessmen of today. So we are not carpetbaggers, but we are a product of what has taken place in Oklahoma City.
Tell us about your business, because Mrs. Ford and I have been talking about it. Tell us about it.
Well, one of the entities that Optasia Enterprises has, we have a professional car wash and detail service in the downtown area. Matter of fact, where Cat's Diner was in downtown. So I know that the sweat and blood and tears that was given from the sit-inners have afforded us the opportunity to come downtown and place a successful business in downtown. And one of those is the car wash and detail service. We have a management agency. We also have a real estate and a commercial real estate agency as well. But the main thing that thrives in downtown is our car wash and detail service that pretty much fluctuate this whole downtown metroplex area. And we have a lot of accounts in the downtown area, just to name a few: Mercedes-Benz, Joe Cooper, Ford, Calvert, Planting and Interior. We also do the state motor pool vehicles. And one thing about our car wash and detail service, we are a professional car wash and detail service with uniformity and unity among the partners. When we go out, we represent well, and we do not look like hobos on the street. That's the main thing. We represent our community, we represent our people, and we represent us real well.
Well, you all looked good, and tonight I require that everybody's coming to the dinner dress up. We don't want you coming in there looking like we have made progress.
That's right.
And if you don't have anything, you can go buy you some clothes. Just so you come in there tonight looking good like white and black people, black and white people should. Thank you, and I'll see you tonight, and you will be there tonight because you've already bought you a diamond ticket for $100. Go!
Way to go, Brian. Congratulations to you on your business. Keep up the good work. Keep up the hard work, because that's what the fight is all about. The first round, actually, I guess we could call these past 30 years plus the first round, Mom. Now the second round is the time now when these young people who are in schools across this city, who are in colleges across this state, where the challenge is now in their court. This is their opportunity to shine. This is their opportunity to prepare themselves for the future. I'm looking forward to it, Mom, because the future is bright because of young people like Brian Hopgood, young people like John Pettis Jr., young people like David
John Pettis Jr. will be speaking tonight.
And the Queen, Michelle Franklin. The challenge is theirs. The challenge is in their court. So we, who even though in our early 50s we may think that we've done it all, we know that there's still quite a bit to do. And I want to thank the honorees for tonight.
Okay, let's go back over to honorees. Mrs. Bosie Walker, Mr. James Gatewood, Mrs. Marie Weekly, Reverend James Shields, Mrs. Elnora Douglas, and Mr. Thomas Redwine.
Got time for one caller?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that then. Good morning. Thank you for being part of the Clara Luper Radio Show on Clara Luper's Day in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Congratulations to Miss Clara Luper on her Miss Clara Luper Day. I played for her on one occasion when we honored her over at the Central Plaza. My name is Kenneth Johnson. I'm Hollis Johnson's brother.
Okay, good.
and I wanted to make sure I got a chance to give her send out kudos to her on her very special day.
My kudos have to be in the form of a penny, a nickel, a dime, or something. Everybody say, Clara, I love you, but you love me enough to help me support the kids.
Yes, resounding yes. I like to be able to be glad to help you in any way I can. I send a donation, to the
No,
cause.
I don't know nothing about what's going to happen today, and I've asked Miss Stale and others to record. I need to know the names of all the people that come by Freedom Center today. today?
Well, it's gonna be what time today, Miss Luper? Is it gonna be all day to 5 o'clock?
Well, here you go. Here goes the schedule. 10:30, line up for the parade at Pitts Park.
Okay.
At the end of the parade, which will end at the Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. After that,
They'll
get
be
rest
there
and
until 4
relax
o'clock.
and enjoy some of that great catfish that is there.
In the open house.
And the open house.
The
at
Freedom
Center.
Wall.
And okay.
The Black
The
History
Black History
Monument.
Monument. These are things that have been accomplished since 1958 right here in our city. We want you to be a part of it. Bring your pennies and nickels. That's how we built it. But you can be a part of it today.
Right.
Thanks for being a lyric caller on this very special day, honoring my mom, your friend, the Youth Council advisor.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Okay, the time for talk is over. Don't talk. I want you to walk
Don't
that
talk.
walk.
Okay.
We would like to thank that beautiful lady in Washington, D.C. that donated to the Freedom Center a home, a house. And we are in the business of remodeling the house. It's at 1420 Northeast 12th Street. And thank God Mr. T.C. Howard is back, and I know he's going to bring us his know-how. Mr. C.P. Wilson has become our professional consultant for that house. I would also like to thank all of you, but the time for talking is over because I don't believe anything except your support. And if you don't have anything else to support us with, or the Pierces have always been with us though, the Woods and all, but I want to let you know that we appreciate it. It's been very, we have a void because this year we lost one of our great supporters, Mrs. Freddie Stevens, and we could go on down the line, but God will give us the strength because we don't want to become drunk with the wine of the world. And I would like now to pause in memory of Mrs. Susie James that you all knew so well. Her funeral was held yesterday at the Mount Olive Baptist Church here in Oklahoma City, and that family is very grateful to you for remembering them during these hours. And also today, Mrs. Anderson, the mother of Sherry, and others will be put to rest, and we extend our sympathy to that family.
And also
Calvin,
the Roan family, Mom.
the Roan family, yes. We would like to tell you, Reverend Dr. Roseberg will be here next week, and we will see you at Freedom Center. And we don't need no talk. We just need a aluminum can or something to know that you are supporting us.
Well,
And
the time for talking is long
well,
gone.
I know my
It's time for
relatives will be
action
there
now.
tonight. The Thurmans will be there tonight. Come, you better sing happy birthday to the sit-inners.
Mom, you know I'll be happy to. And sit-inners are Emma Faye and Betty Germany,
Okay, you
Paul Wood
better hurry up
Williams,
and do
Marilyn
it, 'cause
Hildred.
you're about to run
And those of
out of
us,
time.
it's very easy because, last night, even though I was out in the
We have
in the
some
night,
Dr. Carpetbaggers, some Professor Carpetbaggers.
my poor voice might be a little hoarse, but this song goes out to the sit-inners and to the NACP Youth Council. Happy birthday, sit-inners. Happy birthday, sit-inners. Happy birthday to you all. And may you have many, many more.
This has been the Clara Luper Radio Show, and I'll see you at Freedom Center. I'll see you at the parade. And those of you that are financially able, I will see you tonight. And remember, it starts at 6:30 p.m. And we are being catered tonight by Miss Merlin's Catering Service. And that's going to be some delicious food. Clara Luper saying, whatever you do, do something. Do something. Do something. Bye-bye. I love you.